Yes, thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League. As always, the Predators in to join us, Craig Warman. Craig, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Pretty good, mate. Now starting to fire up, of course. Next weekend is the start of the Southern Footy League. Before we get to it, a couple of pre-season games out and about. Now, the Amateur League doesn't cross over too much with the Southern Footy League, but the Goody Saints and the Flaggies had a pre-season game.
Yeah, apparently it was a pretty good game. The Flaggies got them in only just in the end, but good result.
So Flaggies, mate, not a ball's been bounced yet. Talk of a three-peat. Could you see it happening?
Well, very much so. They, again, will be strong, very strong in all grades last year. Last club to do a three-peat, I think, was Morpeth Vale. And then before that was way back when Plimpton were in the league. So it doesn't happen all that often, of course, but they'll be there or thereabouts.
All right, the signs are good at this stage, mate. 11 teams last season, down to 9 this season. Most people are saying that's the perfect number, 9. 18-game season, everyone plays everyone twice. We have a bye for everyone. Do you see it that way? It's going to be a tighter season than last year?
It's certainly going to make the Southern Football League a lot more competitive. We won't have those blowout scores, etc., that we've been had in the past. The demographic was right for the 2 clubs that did leave this year to go. But the 9, the good part about having the 9, Phil, is it's now bunched up everyone to, you take out our grand finalists, and then from last year, Flaggies and Noarlunga, but the rest of them, it's pretty concertinaed. And the good part about the whole concept is every one of our 9 clubs has what we call a full deck.
Now, I love the Southern Footy League. You always come up with innovative stuff, mate. Tell me what's a full deck.
Well, full deck, Southern Footy League is proud of its history, where we have, on Saturdays, kids starting in the morning. So you've got under 13s, under 15s, under 17 halves, B grade and A grade. That's our Saturday competition, and that's what we call a full deck. So every club that's playing in our competition this year, for the first time in many, many years, doesn't have a hole in the junior program. We've got a full deck.
All right, a couple of new coaches come in, one for Cove, one for Morpeth Vale, and they of course, play first game round 1, April 14.
Yep.
What are you expecting?
I think Cove have recruited very well. They've upgraded the B grade coach from last year, Brett Baldy, to the senior position. He's got a really good rapport with the playing group down there. I expect probably them to have a win first up. Morpeth Vale, Gary Cameron has left Morpeth Vale due to work commitments, but Dave Murdoch, long-time coach at South Adelaide, has taken the reins there. But I think Morphies are in a little bit of a rebuild stage.
Mate, Tribe Game of the Week next week. That be the Tribe Game of the Week?
Yeah, that'll be the Tribe Live Game of the Week on the radio.
And mate, you brought a special jumper in. Of course, we know the second round is Anzac Day, and you guys always have something special for Anzac Day. What have you got for us this year? I
don't want to look too much out the bag, but we've got a new concept in conjunction with our local RSL club down there called Digger Day SA, and the president of the RSL will be in next week to go through it all. But I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a sneak preview. We've got the Anzac.
Just before you give us a sneak, when you call it Digger Day, does that mean Army, Air Force, Navy would all be involved on that day?
Yep, very much so. Part of the concept is that in conjunction with the RSL, the heads of Army, Navy, Air Force here in Adelaide will be attending our game as special guests. And of course, we'll do all the Anzac Day traditions. And of course, we'll also have the Malpas family involved with the presentation of the Captain James Stanley Malpas Medal for the best on ground afterwards.
Now, mate, you had a magnificent Anzac Day last year. You had to get there early. You nearly couldn't get involved in it. Be expecting the same turn up?
I think this one will be bigger. With the concept of Digger Day SA and the Southern Football League being the first Australian rules football league in Australia to adopt this concept. I'm expecting a huge crowd. All
right, let's not talk a lot about it, but let's at least have a look at the jumper that you've brought in. I mean, how did you come up with the concept for this jumper?
Well, it's a collaboration between the RSL and Flagstaff Hill Footy Club, because they were the premiers from last year.
Yep.
The RSL look after all of the use of historical photos, etc. But as you can see, it's a pretty impressive Guernsey, and of course the reason for actually getting it up and running this year, of course, being a significant year, it's the 100th year of the armistice, the end of World War One. So that was the initial thought process behind it. But won't let too much out of the bag. Let Ron have his say when he's in here next week.
All right, now Ron won't talk about this, but the jumpers afterwards, obviously the players can hold on to them.
Yep.
Players mightn't want them. It's an unbelievable jumper. So some people are going to want to buy them. Can you get your hands on them?
The Flagstaff Hill Football Club will be running an auction on the day.
Yep.
So any player who doesn't want his Guernsey, it'll be auctioned.
What do you reckon the chances are of a player not wanting that? I mean, I'm not playing and I'm thinking I wouldn't be parting with it.
I don't think there'd be too many
left.
left.
I reckon there's going to be a lot of auctioning unless there's an extra jumper.
Part of the proceeds, and we'll let Ron touch on it more, but there's only 30 of these ever made.
Right, okay.
So the 22 players, there's 8 spares.
Yep.
They keep 2, we get 1, Flagstaff Hill get 1, Noarlunga get 1. And there's a couple that will be available for auction. But the second one that they keep, they actually butterfly open and send it all around Australia.
Wow.
And have it signed by various people. But I won't let too much out of the bag.
No, we won't let any more out. All right,
let Ron have his say about that.
We'll get back to the season. I mean, there's always an excitement at the start of any season, but there seems to be a genuine excitement when I talk to the people about the Southern Footy League. The fact that these 9 clubs, and I know we touched on it, are in, there just seems to be, it's going to be on. You know, sometimes they say, yeah, we'll be okay, and those teams are easy beats, so that's it. I don't get that feeling about this season.
There'll be no easy beats this year. As we said, the main part is that we've got this full deck, and that brings the whole club together. So you can go to a footy game, and you've got kids from this big to adults this big, there all day supporting their particular club. It's a really good concept.
Yeah, we should, in memory of Rob Popplestone, who's now not on the show anymore. Will it rain next weekend? Because he predicted rain for 2 seasons, and it never rained once.
It might on Anzac Day weekend, but hopefully not for the start of our season.
He predicted that and it didn't ever rain. Hey, always great to catch up with you, Craig. Stay with us. Plenty coming up on the show.